Welcome to the Halliwell Manor. I'm Max.
And I'm Tina.
And we're here to discuss Season 7, Episode 21 of Charmed.
Death Becomes Them.
Hey, guess who finally remembered that Zanku exists?
I know, right?
We haven't seen him in, 3, 4, 5 episodes?
I mean, they mention him in Freaky Phoebe, the, ugliest demon in the world.
A woman in her 40s.
A woman of,
vague European descent in her 40s.
Yes, a woman with vaguely Eastern European features.
Hey, watch out, she had eyebrows before they blew her up.
Yeah, she mentions that she doesn't want to serve Zanku.
Yeah.
I really feel like she could have taken him out, though.
I mean, I don't want to harp on this, but it's a podcast, so harping is kind of what we do here. He gets his ass kicked so often. It is so hard to take this man seriously as a threat. We've seen Leo kick his ass on, 2 separate occasions? 3 separate occasions? I'm pretty sure he did it as an avatar. He at least held his own as an elder. He did it when he absorbed, was the Hollow, or the Woogie, or the Nexus, or whatever.
But...
Yeah, he...
Unclear,
but he kicks Zanku's ass then. This isn't a Cole as Mega Satan situation. It feels like the main reason they haven't taken him out is because they're too busy farting around for no reason.
Listen, we will talk about this way, way more when we talk about next week's episode, but Zanku really had potential, and they just squandered it.
His plan in this episode is not good. It's not good. No.
I would argue his plan in this episode is 100% successful. It just doesn't make any sense why it's successful.
Yeah, okay. His plan is successful, and it hinges entirely on the book having a weakness we've never seen it had before. Because if it did, let's be clear, the sisters would never have their powers ever.
Yeah, it turns out if the sisters doubt themselves, the book no longer protects itself against evil. Good thing the sisters have never doubted themselves. A good thing there always were sisters. What happened during that time before they got their powers unblocked?
I guess Graham's always had a lot of self-confidence.
Well, that's true. We do know that. Okay, never... Complaint retracted.
I mean, I don't want to say it's a good thing Patty died, but apparently if Grams had died and not Patty, demons would have gotten that book immediately.
Right? Ugh.
But, yeah, no, this episode is deeply stupid in a way that I don't find particularly enjoyable. We don't always do this, but I did watch the preview for it.
Oh, yes.
Where the plot, they seem to think the plot is Phoebe has a zombie boyfriend and that's funny for some reason.
Oh, like that 1980s horror comedy, My Boyfriend's Back.
Yes, the one where they couldn't get the rights to the song My Boyfriend's Back, so they don't use it despite it being the name of the movie.
I mean, that's fine. I feel like I remember hearing somewhere that half the budget for the movie 8 Days a Week went towards paying for the rights for that Beatles song. And listen, stalkers don't become cuter just because you play the Beatles underneath them.
I don't know. Isn't the whole point of the TV show You, stalking is cute if you do it with the right background track and an attractive enough actor?
That's the opposite of the point of view. I feel like you're gonna get canceled just like Alex Meyer. That was the opposite of the point. Oh, just to put this recording in time, space. For our listeners, obviously you know what day today is.
Yes.
I just told myself I was not going to watch one more video about Alex Meyer not understanding the movie Obsession.
It's a bad thing that the man made a wish to overwrite his female friend's free will so she would date him. That is a negative.
Yes. And then Swoop dropped a video about it, and now I need to finish this recording so I can go finish watching the Swoop documentary about it.
Okay, so to backtrack to You a little bit, I feel like...
Not to me, to the TV show, You.
Yes.
Third base.
I feel like that is supposed to be the point of the show, it's undercut by it having like 4 more seasons after the initial season.
Okay, so the point of the show, which incidentally is also the part of the point of Obsession, is what if this romance trope was real? It's fucked up, isn't it? Isn't this romance trope fucked up? Either the love potion in the case of Obsession, or it's a wish, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Or, the creepy stalker boyfriend in the case of you. Now, listen, I haven't seen...
I mean, alternatively, just want to bring it up because
Yeah.
Kevin can fuck himself. Because it's just taking a rom-com or a dom-com, domestic comedy, outside of, the 4-camera setup, outside of the traditional, romantic movie setup, examining the behavior that one would have in one of those situations, like, 500 Days of Summer, which I know is already deconstruction-y, shows you this is not a tenable thing for a long-term relationship, and also you're being kind of a creep if you're essentially stalking a woman.
Well, Kevin Can Fuck Himself is an amazing television show, by the way. Perfect from, front to back. 100%. Go watch it.
Sitcom behavior will destroy your life.
But I do feel like the show owes a lot to the pioneers on YouTube who uploaded, Friends with the Laugh Track removed.
Oof.
Because so much of it is... not just sitcom behavior, but specifically shit that Ross did in Friends. And it's like, hey, guess what? It's abusive and financially controlling to do shit that gets your girlfriend fired.
Yeah, if you're nervous about your girlfriend and one of her male coworkers, the appropriate thing is not to send a barbershop quartet to spy on her.
Okay, but back to you.
Yes, the TV show.
I didn't really watch past the first season.
Yeah.
But my so this might be completely wrong, but I thought that the deal with the second season is that Joe falls in love with a woman who is herself a serial killer, and it's like, oh, how the turntables.
Yeah, that's the impression I got.
I'm okay with that. That doesn't feel like it undercuts the premise to me.
And it feels like that... Okay, this is going to be a really weird pull. It feels like that Tumblr post that takes the scene from How I Met Your Mother, where the mother meets her best friend in college, and she jokes about
being a
serial killer.
Okay, that's actually the mother and... Oh, wait, she does do that. Okay, wait, sorry. That is how she meets her best friend in college, and then that's also how she meets Lily later. Okay.
Yeah. And she jokes about being a serial killer, and the girl responds, oh, I'm not worried about that, because what are the chances we'd both be serial killers?
Right.
Yeah. Someone built kind of a mini-fic off that about these two serial killers who are, obsessed with each other, and they're lesbians, because it's Tumblr. And,
I don't have a problem with that.
No, I know. But I also feel like there's a lot of behavior that, otherwise would not be socially acceptable that Tumblr will accept if it's done by gay people.
Okay, but
for example, serial killing.
Okay, I don't think that's necessarily true. I think if it's done comedically, it will be accepted. And I present as my evidence the comedic horror romance novel Butcher and Blackbird, which is about 2 serial killers falling in love, and it is a straight relationship.
But it's not on Tumblr.
I'm not on Tumblr anymore. But I feel like the kids on Tumblr would love Butcher and Blackbird, and possibly do. And you know how okay, here's my evidence for that.
Yes.
The book comes with a Spotify playlist. That makes me feel like it's for the Tumblr kids.
Okay.
We are off on a tangent that just came from me making a one-off joke about Alex Meyer. We really should get back on track.
Okay.
Also, I'm not sure if it's Meyer or Myers, so...
Okay, I'm going to mention one more thing, and then we'll actually get into this episode of Charmed. But the thing is, the Gilliam run of Young Avengers.
I did not know that's where you were going to go. Go on.
Okay, it also has a... I think it's Gilliam. It's Volume 2.
Okay.
I think it's written by the same person who did... oh my god. Okay, I can't remember the name of the comic, but the guy does a lot of youth culture stuff, and he also had Spotify playlists for like all of the characters in that run of Young Avengers. And I was in my early 20s when that book came out,
Mm-hmm.
and I read it and I was like, this is too youth culture-y for me. I don't like it. It is not pleasant to read. And part of it might be because I feel like it's kind of a person who's very into youth culture but is no longer young themselves.
Hello, fellow kids.
I don't know, because Hello Fellow Kids, he's trying to infiltrate. Like, I believe that the author of Young Avengers Volume 2 is genuinely into all of this stuff that he's into, and that he's genuinely into youth culture. But also, I've never been connected to youth culture.
I was going to say that, and I'm glad you got there, and that I did. Okay.
Yeah, no, I've never been a huge youth culture person. So maybe that's just why it wasn't connecting to me. I really don't like the second volume of Young Avengers, although I do appreciate that it ends with Billy Kaplan destroying a multiversal parasite with the power of love. Just the fact that you can be like, Billy Kaplan used the power of love to disintegrate a lady.
Is it like Once Upon a Time where the joy comes in summarizing it?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, it made Tommy Shepard bisexual, which is nice.
That is great.
Like, there's a bunch of stuff. It also had a lot of cool dialogue, which okay, Charmed. We're not here to litigate Young Avengers Volume 2.
We're here to litigate Charmed.
Yes.
So, I'm not sure if you remember, but Phoebe is going to go back to school to get her psych degree so people will take her seriously as the advice columnist for San Francisco's alt weekly.
Mm-hmm.
I keep saying that. The Bay Mirror is clearly their daily paper and not an alt weekly, but it feels like an alt weekly, doesn't it?
Well, seeing as the advice columnist is apparently the number 3 person in charge of the newspaper, that does make it feel less mainstream.
Dan Savage is an editor at The Stranger.
Yeah, but The Stranger's not like a USA Today.
No, it's an
New York Times.
It's Seattle's alt weekly.
Exactly. That's my point.
Oh,
my point.
You were agreeing with me. Okay.
I was agreeing with you. The fact that Phoebe is the third in charge makes it feel like an alt weekly.
Gotcha. All right. So Phoebe is on campus, but one of her classmates is fixing her car because her car got broken down, like a flat tire or something.
Yeah.
And I have to say, little plug here.
Mm-hmm.
I've been reading TV tie-in novels and posting about them on Blue Sky for a while now.
Yes.
And this opening really felt like the way one of the novels would have opened, where like Phoebe's on campus. I feel like all of those novels start with Phoebe on campus.
Yeah, they really think that the Phoebe college thing is a bigger thing than it actually is.
Right? And then there's some cute guy, and either he's a demon in disguise or he gets killed almost immediately. Spoilers, this guy's not a demon.
So, yeah, this guy, and it shouldn't throw me, they're very clearly different characters, but Paige was just helping out a blue-collar repair guy like 2 episodes ago, and it feels weird that we have another blue-collar repair guy here, even though he's in college with Phoebe.
Yeah, he's not a mechanic, but he's wearing a shirt that has like stylized rolled up sleeves.
He's wearing a jumpsuit, basically.
Well, that's the thing. He has the shirt is a button down, and he has it unbuttoned, showing a white undershirt. So yeah, he looks like he's dressed like a mechanic, even though he's her classmate, or he was her classmate.
Yeah, a ninja guy.
A demon with Wolverine claws.
Yeah, zoops in, murders the shit out of this dude who was just flirting with Phoebe. He's fixing her car, and he's like, hey, you know, I like to read your column. And she's like, oh, well, you're not a woman or gay as all get out, so that's a shocker. And he's like, yeah, I'd like to shocker you with my penis. And then he gets killed, mercifully ending this little flirtation.
Oh no, if only there was someone there who had the power to see that coming.
Oh, oof. And okay, Phoebe takes out this demon embarrassingly easily. She just kind of sidekicks it into an exposed pole wire thing, and it blows up Embarrassing. Embarrassing for everyone. It's embarrassing she didn't save him, and it's embarrassing how easy that demon went down. Everyone should be embarrassed. This episode must have been running so short.
I know, we go to credits and we come back with so many shots of San Francisco, which is weird because a lot does happen in this episode.
Yeah.
So when we come back from credits, finally, Phoebe is upstairs in the attic going through the Book of Shadows trying to find the demon, and
she's wearing a backless silk shirt.
It's kind of vaguely Asian inspired, which I must tell you was the style at the time.
Yeah.
Yes. Piper.
This is also embarrassing for everyone.
Yes. Comes upstairs, just in case my air quotes were not audible. It's not Piper, it's Zanku in disguise. Anyway, comes up to talk to Phoebe.
And Phoebe's, of course, making this man's death all about herself, which, to be fair, she is vaguely responsible for it.
It is all about her.
Yeah, it is literally all about her. But she's like, he was just some poor man trying to help me with my tire, and he died because of it. And Piper's like, do you really still care about that? I mean, this happens so much to us all the time. Like...
Well,
I feel like you're not the right level of sad for this.
Okay, the thing that I really appreciate, though,
Mm-hmm.
is that they talk in this episode about reverse psychology, and Zanku, as Piper here, says, it's not like you're cursed, as a way of planting the idea in Phoebe's head that she is, in fact, cursed. So, good writing.
Yeah, and Piper's like, well... maybe it wasn't because of you that Tim died. Maybe, he was a witch or a demon. And Phoebe's like, no, I know he wasn't a witch or a demon. It's all because of me. I also want to point out demons...
It is all... I mean, you're mocking her. It is all because of her.
That is true. But I also want to point out demons kill regular-ass people all the time. Like, clearly this is because of Phoebe. Like, she points out the demon was not even paying attention to her. It just ran up and killed Tim. Tim was the guy who died. He's dead now. Tim. There were some who called him Tim until he died, and then they stopped. Why doesn't Inspector Sheridan Phoebe was just at the scene of another murder.
I know. Anyway, Phoebe leaves the attic, and Piper tries to pick up the Book of Shadows, and it repels her because Phoebe still has too much confidence, and, she's Zanku, like we said.
Yeah.
So she turns into Zanku, or Zanku retakes his normal form, and then shimmers down to the underworld to meet with the necromancer.
He tells the book, oh, you might resist me now, but I'll be inside of you soon. And it's like, dude, okay, calm down a little bit. It's a book. Come on. Don't be weird about it. But yes, he goes down to, speaking of being weird about stuff.
Yeah, okay. First of all, let's not say weird when what you mean is explicitly homosexual.
Oh,
I'm sorry, are we talking about different things? You go first.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say this dude's definitely a necrophiliac, and I feel like it's okay to describe that as weird.
Okay. Yes, okay. But also, the energy between him and Zanku is what I'm clocking here. In fact, I put in my notes the weird pause when he says to Zanku, it's been so long since we worked together.
Yeah, one of the things that makes Zanku work as a villain is that he constantly low-key seems like he's flirting with everyone.
Which makes sense, because the actor is from the movie The Mummy, a classic of bisexual cinema.
Barbas also kind of did that a little bit.
Maybe that's just what it takes to make a great villain.
I mean, look at a lot of the characters Tim Curry played.
Yes, let's look at them.
Yeah, the two of them have a, back in the good old days before the Source locked you up, we used to have fun reanimating dead bodies. Okay, how much does this guy suck compared to the necromancer from Necromancing the Stone? Oh, my whole thing is that I bring dead people back to life, but I'm not powerful enough to do it on my own. I need to piggyback off Zanku. If your one job is bringing people back from the dead and you can't do it by yourself, find a new job.
Wow, harsh but true.
Also, I'm pretty sure there was another dude like Necrom or something who they already fought who also brought like zombies back. Right? Or he drained life force. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I conflated it because the necromancer drained life force to, resurrect himself. But like, come on. This dude sucks. I mean, it's fine. It's fine. Zenku has to work with who he's got since the ugliest demon in the underworld killed his 3 lieutenants.
Oh. Have we been watching enough Elementary?
Oh, Elementary is one of like 17 British things I'm watching right now.
Okay, just because of the way you just pronounced lieutenant.
Yes.
Okay. I know I said his plan is a good plan because it works. Like, I'm measuring it by its effect.
Mm-hmm.
But let's clarify what this plan is here. He wants to kill people who are in close proximity to the Charmed Ones.
Emotionally.
And then have the necromancer raise them up so they can basically haunt the Charmed Ones and be like, I died because you knew me. And...
Okay, spoilers, right? We have to do spoilers for this.
Yeah?
The people he finds to bring back from the dead. Tim, the guy introduced in this episode. Inspector something or other. That minor bad guy from season 3 you probably don't remember.
We do this podcast and I literally didn't remember him. I went back and rewatched those episodes to refresh my memory. And that just left me with more questions.
And 3 rando extras who are innocence Piper has lost.
Oh, no, there is also, and this one genuinely moves me, even though she also was introduced in this episode, one of Paige's charges.
Okay, fair. But, like, actual characters have died in this show.
Yeah, but none of their actors were available, apparently. This is like the one kid from Conversations with Dead People.
Cassie?
No, the one who psychoanalyzes Buffy.
Oh.
Who was supposed to be Jesse, I think, but they couldn't get the actor back.
Oh, I always thought that was a separate thing. I knew Jesse was they couldn't get Eric Balfour back to be Jesse, and that's why this is the one episode Xander doesn't appear in. Because he was supposed to appear to Xander.
Oh, okay.
And that's why it's the only episode in all of Buffy that does not have Xander in it.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Oh, yeah. Okay. That does make me wonder if that was supposed to be who appeared to Buffy, though.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they were going to get Scott Hope.
That would make more sense.
Turns out I died during graduation and you didn't even notice.
Or, yeah, and Cassie was obviously...
Because they couldn't get...
Amber Benson to come back.
Amber Benson actually said no. They asked her.
That's what I meant by they couldn't get her to come back.
I remember there was supposed to be a thing with her coming back in the finale, which apparently she was shooting some sci-fi original movie called Griffin.
Oh, no.
Yeah, which... Although, I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like, maybe that's true, maybe it's not. I mean, she was in a sci-fi original channel movie named Griffin, but I don't know if they would have thrown in the whole, like, Buffy gets a wish and she uses it to resurrect Tara. Like, that seems unlikely.
Yeah, that does.
Like, it was a thing that got talked about a lot back in the day, but I'm like, I don't think that's true. Like... I always enjoyed, I talked about this a little on Blue Sky, I always enjoyed the whole theory that Sunday used to be a vampire slayer.
Yes, I do like that. Oh, for our listeners who aren't incredibly obsessed with Buffy, that's the vampire from her first week of college.
Yeah. The one that she has a bunch of trouble defeating for no clear reason.
Well, because...
I mean, college has thrown her off her game.
Exactly.
That's supposed to be
the metaphor.
Yeah. Like... Suddenly everything's new and different, and you're not as good at the things that you think you're good at.
And somebody breaks your class protector umbrella. And, like, yeah.
Yeah, also, fun fact, Pedro Pascal is in that.
Oh, yeah. I remember seeing, like, an image from that episode and having somebody point that out.
Yeah, he's the guy who gets turned. But, anyway, I was looking that up because I'm like, oh, that was a fun theory. And there are people who are acting like it was a thing. Like, they're like, oh, yeah, they should have done something where it was supposed to be in the script, like a couple of, and I'm like, no, it was a fan theory.
It's a good fan theory.
It's a good fan theory, but let's not act like it was supposed to be in the show and they cut it for whatever reason.
Yeah, especially because it makes a lot of sense with the, what do you call it? Cut me stumbling over the word wrong, but the cruciatum or...
Oh, yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, the cruciatum.
Yeah, it especially makes sense with the cruciatum, right? That I feel like a lot of slayers become vampires during that.
But yeah, okay. But
the point was, all of these people are coming back to haunt the Charmed Ones, and I don't think that was necessary. I don't think the plan is overly complicated. But
also,
I don't need to Monday morning quarterback Zanku here. It worked.
Just maybe see if you could find the actors before committing to the script.
Even a single actor that would make sense.
Like, honest to God, bring back Ken Marino would have made more sense. Especially because he was he had the whole on death's list thing.
Yeah.
I guess it wouldn't really work for John Cho because his soul moved on or whatever. I was trying to think of important people for Piper who died, but Piper's actually made it out pretty clean. For as many, oh no, Leo is dying scenes as we've got.
Okay, I'm sorry. I am very distracted right now because ever since the reunited episode of Grey's Anatomy, where Holly Marie Combs and Alyssa Milano appear as sisters whose third sister has been injured, and also they're all sisters who have names that start with H. You know, I've been mulling over this like Grey's Anatomy is an alternate universe fan fiction idea, and I just realized that Ken Marino plays a very similar one-off character in both Grey's Anatomy and Charmed, and now I can't get past that. I'm sorry. Let's go back to the show where Daryl's wife is looking gorgeous.
Okay, one more diversion. Really brief.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. We will talk about this episode at some point. You know who would have been a good, I'm assuming pretty easy get for this?
Who?
Chris.
But Chris isn't dead.
Okay.
Oh,
His corpse was in this timeline. I know he turned into orbs or whatever, so... I'm just saying, if you need someone important to the sisters who died...
I'm just stuck on. Well, first of all, if you need someone important to the sisters who died,
Prue.
Yeah,
well, like, we don't even touch the Prue button in this episode,
obviously you can't get Shannon Doherty back. Although, yeah, if you want the sisters to feel, oh no, you're always going to lose, maybe bring up the fact that.
They literally lost his sister. And no one even brings it up as a possibility. You know what you could have done? You could have done, like, I hate to keep going back to this, but remember that episode of Buffy where Dawn is looking for a way to bring Joyce back from the dead? And, like, Willow secretly slides her that resurrection book?
Yeah.
That she uses, and we start to see Joyce's shadow before she's like, oh no, this is a bad idea. You could do that with...
Taken straight from Monkey's Paw.
Yeah. You could have done that. I mean, yeah, that is clearly what the episode's riffing on, but you could have done that with Prue. You don't have to have her at all, especially because she's telekinetic.
Okay, my question with Chris, though...
Yeah?
...is, can he be, like, necromanced into a zombie, given the fact that he was a displaced time traveler, and... baby Chris is still alive, therefore, like, he doesn't have a soul to be necromanced?
Oh,
like,
I thought you were going the other way, which is that the necromancer needs human bodies, and Chris blew up into orbs when he died. Yeah,
even forgetting about the orb thing, like, his soul is currently in baby Chris's body, right? So,
I mean, is that why baby Chris has all of the memories of the dark future, even though that makes no goddamn sense later?
Maybe, but also, I'm just gonna... bang the drum for my favorite headcanon, which is that's also why they can't bring Prue back, because Chris is Prue reincarnated.
Okay, back to this.
Which I mentioned just yesterday on the Charmed subreddit.
Yes.
And then somebody informed me that Prue cannot be reincarnated as Chris because she's trapped inside of the body of a comatose witch, according to the comics, which I am not going to accept as canon.
Yes. I think we've talked about this too. Yeah,
We did.
She's reborn as some blonde lady named Patient, or her soul takes over the corpse of a blonde lady named Patience because they still don't have the likeness rights. So
Amazing.
The art in those comics is so bad. It could be Shannon. They could be trying to draw Shannon Doherty, and you just wouldn't know. But back to this episode. Okay.
Daryl's wife wearing a hot ass dress.
Okay, yeah, and also I was stupid for not thinking Inspector Sheridan was part of this episode, because she is.
Why didn't they bring Andy back?
Oh, yeah, there you go. What was that actor up to? But, yeah. So...
Daryl's wife has come down to the precinct to be disappointed by her husband, who's too busy dealing with the Charmed One's bullshit to go to the opera or whatever that she got tickets to. Or some sort of charity benefit, or I don't know, something.
Okay, remember how Daryl's wife found out about the sisters completely off screen and was just totally cool with it, and has been blindly encouraging him to help them out no matter what, even considering the fact that they've killed him on multiple occasions?
I do remember that.
Yeah, we're flipping that now. Now she is super against him working with the Charmed Ones because it apparently just occurred to her that some of that, mystical evil fighting might splash back onto them. Why did this not occur to you earlier? Your husband has been killed on multiple occasions.
I could not answer that question for you.
Also, I guess he didn't tell her. Sheila, or we should call her by her name, Sheila. She's not just... I was going to say she's not just Daryl's wife, but that has been the entire capacity of her existence.
Yeah.
Like... She is such a non-character that she knows about the Charmed Ones because Daryl knows about the Charmed Ones. But yeah, in this episode, suddenly we're flipping the script on Sheila. Inspector Sheridan comes up and she's like...
Okay. Who in the costume department did she piss off?
Oh, you don't love her amazing taupe shirt?
It's a taupe shirt dress where she's wearing this, like... low slung belt slung below her abdomen, making it a wrinkled mess. Like, we don't talk about the clothes on here as often as we could, considering some of the clothes on here. But I just have to point out what a mess this outfit is. Yeah, she comes in and she's like, "Hi, I don't think I've met you before." And instead of being polite about it, Sheila's like, "We absolutely have met many times, and you're a bitch for not remembering my name."
Yeah, she's so mad about it. And Inspector Sheridan's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I've been in a coma for 6 months. I'm sorry I don't remember you. It must have happened before I was in a fucking coma for 6 months."
Well, now Sheila's mad at Daryl for not telling her about the coma because she immediately knows that this has to do with the Charmed Ones nonsense.
Why didn't Daryl tell her about that? He told her about the sisters, but he's not telling her about his coworker being in a coma for 6 months?
Ugh.
But yeah, Sheila's pissed because Daryl can't go on date night because Phoebe murdered someone, or was in the same place as someone who got murdered. And now I guess Daryl has to deal with that because he has to deal with all of the Charmed... I mean, I guess that makes sense. Whenever one of the Halliwells show up in anything, they just kind of shove it onto his desk.
Yeah. Okay, back at the manor, Piper and Leo and Baby White and Baby Chris have just returned home from Party City, where they were buying stuff for Chris's birthday party. And, okay, they were stuck in traffic for, like, ages because they can't orb anymore now that Leo's human. And Piper's like... And Leo says something like, "Yeah, well, this is what happens when I give up being human." And Piper says, "Well, I didn't give up the right to complain about it." And I'm like, no fucking kidding, you didn't give up the right to complain.
Piper hops onto her weird... I mean, Chris only exists to be denied things. They were out getting stuff for Chris's birthday party, and Piper thinks they should cancel it because there's a demon or something.
Okay, when was this party supposed to be? Because they were out getting supplies. It's now basically evening. The way they talk about it makes it sound like the party was going to happen tonight because they're going to go fight the demon. So, what time was this party supposed to be?
Okay, no, the party is just enough in the future so that Piper can try to cancel it many more times over the course of this episode.
Oh, okay.
So, it's happening soon, but, you know, I don't know. It does feel like they're throwing this together kind of last minute also, because it is late at night to be shopping for baby party stuff. I mean,
it's a baby's party. How much stuff do you need? 3 bags full of stuff from the party store?
So, Leo briefly mentions the existence of magic school, which I guess he's still the headmaster of.
Sure, why not?
Yeah. And Paige is immediately like, shut up, Leo. We don't have time for that. I have a new charge named Joanna, and she's in an abusive relationship. But I'm doing that thing that you used to do where I go undercover and I just pretend to be her friend so I can give her good advice because something, future Whitelighter.
She doesn't know about magic yet.
Yeah.
So she's just supposed to, like, keep her on the right path until she learns about magic.
Sure.
I have to say, if being a Whitelighter means, like, hanging out with cool, powerful women who are destined to become angels and keeping them from being in relationships with the terrible men they're attracted to, I feel like I could do that job.
I feel like this is a variation on you wanting to be a vengeance demon.
Oh, I want to be a vengeance demon so bad.
So, Phoebe is talking to Daryl about her new dead boyfriend. You look familiar, like your dead boyfriend. But
only when you smile. But I'm sure I've seen you somewhere else.
But yeah, Daryl's like, you can't keep doing this. I'm trying to have a normal life, and Phoebe's like, shut up. I don't listen to that when it's Piper. I'm not listening to that when it's you.
Also, can you please stop all of this magical stuff? It's going to trigger Sheridan's memories. And it's like, not really. No, I can't really stop all this shit from happening.
So Phoebe has requested access to the morgue so she can try to get a premonition off of Tim's corpse.
Yup.
And Tim is pretty fully dressed for a corpse.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about how messed up his body is because the demon had, like, Wolverine claws.
Yeah. But, okay. Daryl, as Phoebe futilely tries to get a premonition because, come on, Phoebe get a premonition? What is this? A show about witches?
It is weird that she doesn't get a premonition considering how, like, intricately tied up this guy is to everything that's happening. Like, he was killed specifically as part of a master plan by the season's big bad. And also, he's going to rise from the dead. None of this stuff seemed premonition worthy to the powers that be. They're just fucking with Phoebe at this point.
Well, I mean, it's not a Cordelia situation, though. Like, the powers that be aren't giving her the visions. This is Phoebe's own incompetence.
Okay.
But, yeah, Daryl's like, this seems like someone is trying to send a message, and Phoebe's like, oh, really, Daryl? You think a guy getting murdered in front of me by a demon that just immediately poofs afterwards was trying to send some sort of message? Do you think that they're trying to send a message by having someone killed in front of me? Wow, you're a real fucking genius there, Daryl.
Why are the bodies just laying out on slabs and not in the freezers?
Really, really lazy actually, they're probably pretty short-staffed given how many coroners get killed in this show.
Oh my god! Anyway, the second they're gone, Zanku and the Necromancer show up, and I guess I did agree with you saying that the Necromancer is a weirdly necrophilic, because I did write in my notes, the Necromancer is so horny for bodies, that is definitely a choice.
Yeah, he's like salivating over Tim's corpse. He's like, ooh, this one's still fresh.
Yeah.
But yeah, Zenku starts.
Although I will point out, he's an equal opportunity dead body horn dog because he gets equally horned up about the inspector who's been dead for a super long time.
Yeah. Good for you being body positive.
Oh my God. It's so fucked up.
But
moving on.
Also, Zenku seems to be doing this entire resurrection by himself.
Okay, I think the division of labor here is that Zanku makes them rise from the dead, and then the necromancer controls them.
Oh my god.
So I think Zanku can. So I don't think the necromancer can actually raise people from the dead. He could just control them once they do rise.
Okay, why doesn't Zanku just kill this dude and take his power then?
Because they're in love.
They're in love until later in the episode.
You bought me a copy of the Book of Shadows for my birthday recently. It's right there. I feel like I should open it and flip through and find the necromancer's page, but I'm not going to do that because we have so much more episode to cover.
Yeah. So, Paige is at a bar with her charge, Joanne. It's B3. Is it?
It's P3, yeah.
Okay.
The P3 neon sign is in the background. Out of focus, but, it's a very distinctive shape.
Yeah. So, Paige is putting off dealing with Phoebe's problem because she has her own thing now that she's a white lady.
Fair.
Yeah, it's fair. Guy gets attacked by demons isn't exactly headline news in Charmed.
Also, I'm sure I've said this before, but I think it bears repeating because I feel like it's very unfair to Paige that she gets criticized for, putting her white lighter duties above her Charmed One's duties or, being distracted by her charges and stuff like that. And it's white lighters volunteer for the job. Somehow, she didn't volunteer for this job, and yet it is her responsibility, and she's taking shit for, not dealing with her other mystical responsibilities.
Yeah, Paige... Move over, Buffy. Paige has 2 full-time jobs she doesn't get paid for.
Right?
That will end up getting her killed.
Yeah.
Which is also part of Buffy's complaint about being a slayer.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Paige is talking to Joanne, her client, who is very... of the time. Just the, really short haircut and the... She feels very early 2000s quirky girl.
Yeah, I can see that, yeah.
But, an early 2000s quirky girl who's, 5 years away from becoming, a PTA mom.
Oh, yeah, yeah. That pixie cut's gonna grow out into a Karen cut very nicely.
Yeah. She's cool. She makes fun pizza.
Oh, God.
If you haven't read the Fun Pizza story, you should look it up. It's a searing indictment of suburban America. But it's also fun to read. And if you grew up in the suburbs or suburbs adjacent, you will be familiar with this type of mom.
Yes. So, she has about 10 seconds to talk to Paige before her abusive boyfriend Carl shows up and is like, hey... I don't like you hanging around these independent women who give you ideas about independence.
This is a little, I don't want to say heavy-handed exactly, but, I feel like real-life abuse is usually more subtle than this, but I get it, it's a TV show, they need to establish this quickly. It's a page plot, it's not getting that much time.
I mean, they're fast-forwarding it quickly, but... abuse does ratchet up in a way that feels very much like the proverbial, frog in the boiling water.
I guess we are kind of jumping in late into this relationship, because he basically, you're right, he comes in and he tells her, I don't like you hanging out with independent women who don't, listen to their boyfriends. Now get in the car. And she's like, sorry, I have to get in the car. And Paige is like, you really don't.
I mean, she tells Paige, he just had a bad day. He's just like this. Because that is how abuse happens, right? the abuser starts off masked and very good at being manipulative, and you think he's a good guy, and then it's like, oh, this is out of character for him, and not, oh, the mask is slipping. And then it becomes you trying to manage their feelings, and so, oh, I guess I'll leave because he's just in a bad mood, and if I leave, he won't be in a bad mood. This is kind of how abuse happens. It's just we're jumping in at the end.
Yeah. So, speaking of the end, Phoebe is having a nightmare about that guy who she got killed, and she wakes up and, ruh-oh, he's in bed with her, except he's a corpse because she got him killed.
That's messed up.
Yeah, he's like, you killed me, and I'm going to kill you now. And she kicks him, and she goes running into the hallway where Piper and Leo are just, like, hanging out.
They were right at her door. Like, I didn't notice that until just now, but this blocking is not good. They are right there. But, of course, when she runs out, they turn on the lights, and, oh, he's gone, because not only is he going to taunt Phoebe, he's going to gaslight her, too.
Okay. The next morning, Phoebe is she's desperately trying to convince her sisters that there actually was a zombie in her room, and it's not just guilt, hallucinations, or a bad dream. And, oh my god, you are witches who have been fighting evil for like a decade at this point. Why do you not believe her? There are so many different options here. And they're like, no, she probably had indigestion.
You know what? I'm going to give Leo credit here, which I hardly ever do. He comes down with the Book of Shadows and is like, hey, I was looking up zombies in the Book of Shadows. Actually, he says he was looking up the undead. And then Paige, who I love and will usually defend, is like, what, like zombies? Yeah, Paige! Like zombies!
Girl.
Girl!
Oh my god.
But yeah, Piper does tell her to just go back to work. And
well, she is the only one with a reliable income right now, so.
What about P3? It seemed pretty full of people.
Well, Piper decided she doesn't care about it anymore. I guess it is just running by itself now.
Apparently.
Passive income.
Yeah. Okay, we've been calling him the necromancer. I did note at this point in my notes, he's not a necromancer, he's an alchemist.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Not that, whatever.
I mean,
whatever.
If he was a necromancer, he could bring people back from the dead by himself. This isn't even the first person they've dealt with who brings people back from the dead. But, yeah, Paige is like, okay, now that Phoebe's off at work, I'm going to go deal with Joanna. And Piper's like, and I'm going to cancel Chris's birthday party. And Leo's like, why do you keep jumping at the, like, what? Why are you so obsessed with canceling Chris's birthday party? Is it because you hate him too? We could get rid of him and no one would know.
It's fucking dark. Dark. They're also gonna check out whether or not Tim's body's still in the morgue, just to humor Phoebe.
Oh my god. If someone teleported it out and made it into a zombie, they could just teleport it back in and make it into a dead guy again.
Oh, I guess they could, but that's not where he is. He is in the underworld with the alchemist and Zanku. And Zanku's like, we have to do this slowly. If they figure it out too fast, then we won't be able to emotionally torture them. The gaslighting is part of the plan.
And the alchemist is like, it's your plan, it's not my plan. What do I get out of this? And Zanku's like, I could get you a really old stinky body to bring back from the dead. And the necromancer's like, I guess I can't find corpses by myself, so neat.
Okay.
I'm sorry, as a reward, or, what am I getting out of this? You get to do more work for me.
Hey,
okay, cool.
When you love your job, as the alchemist clearly does, what's funny is my question is, when Zanku mentions this inspector who's been dead for 4 or 5 years, the alchemist asks, was the casket wood or metal? Zanku says, let's find out, and then summons the casket, and it was metal. And I'm like, which is preferable?
I mean, metal, right? Because the body would be less decomposed.
Oh, I was thinking like mystical connections. Okay, yeah, you're right. That makes sense. Okay.
So Zenku explains his plan, which is if he undermines the sisters' self-confidence by reminding them of all of their failures, then it will weaken the book's mystical defenses and then he can just grab it.
Yeah, they just pulled that out of their asses. That doesn't...
What?
I did not... Wait, did I put that in my... Hold on. Yeah, I did not put that in as a molecular combustion for our segments at the end, but I absolutely should have.
So Daryl goes into the morgue to check on the corpse, and Inspector Sheridan is casually hanging out in there because, as she points out, hey, so the body that, Phoebe Halliwell found is missing now, and it says here that you were the last person to check it out, so...
And that you brought Phoebe down here when you did it. I mean, it says you brought someone down here, but you brought Phoebe down here when you did that. And also, what are you doing here right now? Did Phoebe call you and tell you the body was missing? Which, yeah, she absolutely did.
She also lists, she's like, look, Phoebe has been involved with the deaths of so many people, including fellow inspectors like Trudeau or Rodriguez. And I'm like, are you not going to mention the fact that Trudeau, Andy, was Daryl's ex-partner? That feels like the sort of thing you would mention here in this speech about how the Charmed Ones bring down everyone associated with them. And guess what? You're like the most associated guy with them that there is.
Well, I mean, she's got a different button to push. She's like, hey, you're about to get fired because of all of this. Does your wife know that?
Wait, why is he about to get fired because of all this?
Because he's clearly covering for the Charmed Ones.
I mean, he's been doing that for like 7 years now.
He's clearly on the take or something.
It just feels weird that the police department has suddenly decided to care about that.
Right.
Also, doesn't he have like a really good close rate or whatever because of them? I mean,
presumably.
he shouldn't because they blow up the people he's after. But like, he did well enough to get promoted. Like,
yeah. All right, so Paige is over at Joanna's apartment, and she's like...
She tells her, she's like, if you ever need me when your abusive boyfriend is around, just yell my name really loud. I'll hear you no matter where I am. And Joanna's like, I feel like I should have some follow-up questions about that.
I have a follow-up question. Are we to understand that the White Lighter connection requires you to physically shout the name audibly?
Oh, yeah. We know that. Remember, Leo couldn't hear the sisters when they were too small.
Oh, right! I think I complained about it then, too, because that doesn't make any sense!
Yeah. Remember, your White Lighters can only hear you if you call out for them physically, although sometimes they can sense when you're in danger, but not always.
I mean... a little bit of spoiler here, but Joanne's boyfriend is Zanku in disguise.
Okay.
So...
Has he been Zanku in disguise for the entire relationship? Because that feels like that's what the implication is. And, oh my god, Zanku spent his time assuming a false identity to get in a relationship with this woman so he can abuse her to undermine Paige's confidence.
That's what I'm saying! This plan is way more complicated than it needed to be.
Like... Girl, in this case, girl being Zanku. How are you both trying way too... You're doing too much and you're not doing enough at the same time.
It's kind of beautiful.
Yeah. So Paige is like, I have to go because my sister's boyfriend's corpse is missing. But remember what I said. Just call me and also lock yourself inside your apartment and don't come out ever. Okay? Bye.
Okay, I have an additional question.
Yes.
Just, again, Zanku is in her apartment already because he just shimmered there because...
He's shapeshifted to be her boyfriend again.
For like a split second so that he could shapeshift back to Zanku so that we would know that it was Zanku, and then he chokes her so that she can't call out Paige's name.
She starts to call out for Paige. Paige, you can't sense that your charge is in danger. You have to be like 15 feet away at this point. He came in as soon as Paige left.
You should be able to hear her with your ears. That's not my question, though. My question was...
Why did he bother shapeshifting into the boyfriend if he was just going to strangle her to death? as himself.
Well, it was, I mean, I don't have a question about that because it's so that we, the audience, know what's going on.
Yeah.
No, my question is about white lighters in general because this woman is a future white lighter. Does her becoming a white lighter get short-circuited by her zombiehood?
Oh, yeah, I don't think she did enough good in life to become a white lighter yet or whatever. I think you have to, like, die heroically or something, or...
Oh, I thought you just had to have, like, a pure soul.
Yeah, she should have shot it right up to being a white lighter, right?
She shouldn't have been able to be necromancized. All right, over at the...
Or maybe that makes it easier? Maybe, like, your body's still a corpse, but your soul's in white lighter land, so it's just easier to jam whatever dark magic...
Well, the thing is, the corpses are being controlled, but it feels pretty clear to me that even though they're being controlled, it's still them.
No, maybe it's vampire rules, right?
Oh, like you have all your memories, but a demon has taken possession?
Yeah.
Maybe. Alright, anyway, back at the Bay Mirror, Phoebe has written letters to all of the people who have written her, and she's trying to get her assistant to mail them off. And her assistant's like, you wrote letters back to every single person who wrote you a letter, even if you're not going to publish them? And I'm like, we already established, like, 2 seasons ago that that's what she does.
Yeah, like, this is not new information. New assistant lady.
Anyway, Phoebe sends her assistant out of the room, and Paige orbs in and says, I thought she'd never leave, which kind of answers our question about orbing, right? You can sense if... Yeah.
Okay. So, where the fuck was Paige? Was she just standing in the hallway waiting until she sensed Phoebe's office was clear?
No, I think you can be like...
in the buffer coil of
yes!
orbing?
Yeah, I think you can be like unintegrated, just floating around and not reintegrate until you're alone.
Also, you could sense that someone else was in Phoebe's office, but you couldn't sense that someone else was in Joanne's apartment, strangling her to death.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god. If I were Joanne, I would file a complaint at the White Lighter office.
Assuming that her soul actually does get to go up.
Yeah.
Okay, this pisses me off so much. When Paige sees all of the extra that Phoebe is being right now about her job, she's like, you feel guilty about Tim dying and now you're overcompensating. And Phoebe's like, which one of us is studying psychology? And I'm like, well, since she was a clinical social worker, Paige. Paige presumably already has a degree in psychology.
Or at the very least took some classes.
That's how you become a social... I'm so mad at... Why am I so mad? It doesn't...
The show doesn't remember that Paige used to be a social worker.
But yeah, it pissed me off.
Yeah. So, Paige is like, look, even if Tim was killed to send a message to you, that's not your fault. It's the fault of whoever, sent the demon to kill him. And Phoebe's like, well, we don't even know who's responsible. And then we smash cut to Zanku. And,
well, right after Paige says, well, I think there's only one demon who could be responsible because...
I mean, that's stupid. You haven't fought Zanku in, 5 episodes. There are a lot of demons out there who are doing shit.
Well, I was going to say, according to my calendar, we're getting towards the end of the season, so it's got to be the big bad.
Point. Isn't it weird how every year we wrap up the major villain right before the end of school? Isn't it nice how the bad guys never do anything during the summer? How we all get summers off? That's nice. But yeah, back in the Underrealm, Zanku has resurrected Inspector Davis.
Yeah, I think that's right. And when he gets resurrected, he has a bunch of flashbacks so that we remember who he is.
Yeah. Okay, so this was the guy who was investigating Cole. So it really feels like a lot of these zombies are Phoebe focused. Honestly, this one should be Prue focused because in his last episode, it was all about Prue. Prue was the one who was trying to stop him from being taken by the Angel of Death, which, spoiler alert, not spoiler alert, we already talked about this, and also he's dead in this episode, so you can guess how that went.
Past munition alert.
Past munition alert, yes.
I would... Oh, go ahead.
In fact, Prue literally stood back and watched him die because the Angel of Death was like, hey, you need to accept death, Prue. Prue Halliwell, you need to accept death. And Prue's like, okay, demons have at this guy. This makes our life so much easier.
Okay, though, having gone back and rewatched the episodes, I do have to say that, because you said that before, and then I went back and rewatched his episodes, of which there were 3, by the way. He was in like 3 episodes. His whole thing with Phoebe was very much the focus up until he died. And his argument is Phoebe should have let him know that demons are real and Cole was one, and then he would have been like forearmed, but which is itself nonsense, but
okay, so Phoebe gets 2 zombies, and one of them's theoretically like an important resurrection, like someone we're supposed to be like, oh yeah, I remember that. Paige gets someone who was introduced in this episode. Piper gets nothing. I'm sorry, Piper gets leftovers. I'm sorry, extras. Innocent she couldn't save. Okay, here's another poll for Paige, which I feel like you wouldn't even need to get the same actors back, because who would remember? Her parents.
Oh.
Like, it feels like Zenku, although apparently he got into a whole relationship with the charge just to murder her, so I guess it's not fair to say. It feels like Zenku was putting a lot more effort into one of the sisters than the other 2, but I guess he just was like, Piper doesn't have anyone. I'm really half-assing this on Piper.
I mean, I am, again, jumping ahead to the next episode, but Phoebe is the one he's able to take out first, so maybe he knew that she would be the weak link.
I mean, she should be the one you go after. I just want to point this out. I'm sorry to keep getting waylaid, but again, Prue should have been the dangling sword here, and it kind of reminds me of the PlayStation 2 Buffy game, Chaos Bleeds.
Okay.
Which, I mean, it has a kind of cool concept, which is before the multiverse was, played out. It's the big bad in that is bringing in big bads from other universes. As a thing, and I forget, not necessarily big bads, like old Buffy villains.
Okay.
And like she's being helped out by Sid the Dummy,
Okay.
who is also from an alternate timeline. But in one of the early episodes, I think someone's using that mask that Joyce's friend had.
Oh yeah, from Dead Man's Party.
Yeah, to raise the dead in the graveyard, and you have to play a Spike in that because Buffy sees her mom's grave and gets overwhelmed by it.
Oh.
And Spike takes over to take out that boss.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I remember. I really like the concept. It wasn't just big bads. I remember, like in Xander's level, the boss is Anyanka.
Oh.
And you have to defeat her, and it takes place in the school, and you have to defeat her by finding rabbits and placing them at key points in the school.
That's funny.
Yeah, like the game was really clearly done by someone who liked the show.
Okay, I do feel like they wanted to avoid talking about Prue at all, like even mentioning Prue at this point, because of everything that went down. I feel like they didn't even want to muddy those waters.
Although they referenced the hell out of her next episode.
Yeah. But it's true. It would have made sense for them to be worried that Prue was going to be the next zombie to come back. Even if she never did. Yeah, you're right. Anyway, Paige orbs over to Joanne and finds that she's dead. And
Zanku's just kind of laughing evilly in the hallway.
He's right there, Paige! I know, it's just whatever. That's...
Yeah, is he supposed to actually be there? Is this just like...
Yeah, let's say he's not, because, yeah.
Because otherwise, Paige has no peripheral vision. You know who she could use?
Peripheral Vision Man from Studio 60?
Yeah. If only she had Peripheral Vision Man, she could have caught Zanku and apparently kicked his ass, because remember, that lady who had Piper's powers for like an afternoon kicked Zanku's ass in that one episode, so...
Okay. Back at the precinct, Sheridan has called Sheila in and sat her down and been like, your husband's about to get fired, which is outrageously inappropriate, right?
Yeah, she's like, I feel like you're not being honest with your wife, Daryl. I figured someone owed it to Sheila to be honest with her, so why don't you two have an honest adult conversation about your relationship? And Daryl's like, if cops had HR, I would call HR on you so fast.
Sheila's like, Daryl, she said you could be fired or even go to prison. Why did you hide this from me? And he's like, you literally know that I'm dealing with the supernatural here. What are you even talking about?
And she's like, I used to have to struggle with worrying that you'd never come home, and now it's so much worse because of magic or whatever. And Daryl's like, wait, how did that functionally change at all? I mean, also, I've died, but did you not know that I've been killed before?
Hey, I've died twice.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Daryl is Buffy Summers levels of dead and come back. Not quite Xena level. I feel like Xena died a lot in that show, but I mean, it's also Greek mythology, so coming back from the dead's kind of a lot easier.
Yeah, it's no big deal. So his conversation with her is interrupted because the sisters are calling him, and he's like, I'm sorry, I have to go. It's literally the end of the world. And she's like, it's always the end of the world with you, Daryl.
Yeah, he tells her, Sheila, baby, I have to go. The sisters are in trouble, and she's like, so are we. It's our family or theirs. And Daryl's like, Andy's been dead for a while. I can stop doing this, right? Like, I know I promised him, but Andy's been dead for a while. Prue's been dead for a while, and that was the one he was dating. I feel like I've done my share here.
I was going to go the opposite way with it. I was going to be like, yeah, if they fail, our family is also going to die.
Yeah. Okay, weird pull, but...
Are you going to talk about the American Dad episode?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, in the Mortal Kombat TV show...
Okay.
It takes place, like, way in the past, where being the Mortal Kombat champion was, like, a known thing. And the guy who's the current Mortal Kombat champion wants to marry the daughter of this duke.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, well, you don't have, like, a real job and you're not from, like, a fancy family, so I don't want you to marry my daughter. And it's like, this is the one guy who stops demons and sorcerers and, like, extra-dimensional monsters from coming over here and eating everyone. If he wants to marry your daughter and your daughter's into it, then you should fucking let him marry your daughter. Like, the two of them were dating. Like, if he stops doing his job, everyone will die. Like, you have a vested interest in this man being interested in keeping humanity safe.
Yes. Anyway, back at the manor, Paige is like, oh no, I failed and my charge died. And Piper's like, oh hey, I'm going to comfort you in a way I did not comfort Phoebe. And be like, this is literally just Zanku trying to fuck with our heads. So don't fall for it. Don't let your head be fucked with.
Have you tried not being a giant baby? We all see death all the time.
Also, Piper immediately is like, well, obviously her abusive boyfriend was Zanku. So, like, come on, get with the program.
Paige points out, perhaps somewhat insensitively, Piper, what do you care? No one in your life has been hurt yet. And she's like, yeah, because I'm sending Leo and the boys to magic school.
Again, it's like you said about Prue, right?
So, yes, Piper is bundling off Leo and the boys to magic school. And Paige is like, what about the other people in your life? Who's going to protect them? And Piper's like, okay, yeah. Oh no, is he going to kill one of my mom friends I haven't talked to in like 14 years?
The mom friends that I keep calling and telling I'm not throwing a party for Chris because he's my second child and I don't love him as much as Wyatt.
Oh, by the way, this also confirms that Chris's party's canceled. And she's like, he won't remember it. He's just a baby. Which Leo earlier was like, well, we'll remember it.
Alright, so Phoebe's up in the attic and Inspector Davidson shows up and is like, Oh, I'm a zombie now. And she's like, God damn it.
Yeah, you remember me? I was that guy who was trying to prove that Cole was a murderer or whatever. Blah. And, yeah, I'm here to punish you for your sins.
And she's like, you were marked for death by literal death. I literally couldn't do anything. And he's like, you could have told me that demons were real, like 3 weeks before I died when I came to you and said, hey, are demons real? Except he didn't say that. He said, hey, is your boyfriend a murderer?
And she was like, I plead the fifth.
Yeah. And I would point out at that point, she didn't even know. She didn't know that Cole was Balthazar at that point. So she had even less knowledge at that point. So plus, if she had told you, what, the cleaners would have shown up and killed you anyway. Like, this is a lot of guilt on Phoebe that she obviously doesn't deserve.
Yeah. So Phoebe's like, you know what? I can just leave this conversation.
Oh, wait, I just remembered. I have legs.
Something sucks, just walk out. So she's casually jogging away from the zombie who is casually jogging after her. And then it disappears in a flash of purple light as Piper enters the hallway because I guess we're still trying to gaslight everyone.
Right? What's so funny is that Piper immediately believed Paige, but Phoebe's like, it was another zombie. It was Inspector Davidson. And Piper's like, he died 4 years ago. Phoebe, what are you talking about?
So up in the attic, Zanku is trying to get the book, but the sisters are still kind of confident.
But he's getting closer. Getting a little closer every day.
Why doesn't Piper believe?
Well, honestly, I'm weirdly okay with her not believing Phoebe and believing Paige, and they're experiencing identical things. So they go up into the attic. Zanku's gone now, and also there are no more zombies, and Piper's like, see, Phoebe, nothing to be afraid of. There's no such thing as zombies.
Your brain is just trying to attack you from the inside. There's nothing to worry about.
Right? Oh.
So Paige orbs in, and Piper's like, and I bet your charge wasn't in any trouble at all. And Paige is like, no, she's dead.
So.
Which I thought she told them earlier, but I guess
not.
No. Okay.
Yeah, So they are going to.
Now Piper believes zombies are involved. This is such a weird flip where suddenly she's Team Paige.
You know what? It's funny. It's just the way that Sheila stopped being Team Sisters.
Yeah.
So she's gonna have Paige scry for the body of Joanne because that's clearly where all this is going down. And I do love that theoretically Phoebe should be better at scrying than Paige, but we've already established that Paige is the best at scrying. So it's like, oh no, I need somebody to have some sort of eldritch vision. I better give it to this sister.
So the girls teleport to where the body is, and there's a whole bunch of zombies there already.
Yep, there's a whole horde of zombies, all made up of innocents that they failed to save.
I do like that Piper points out, hey, Paige, why don't you just orb us all out of here? And Phoebe's like, no, the main bad guy has to be around here somewhere. And the alchemist pops out of the shadows, and he's like, yes, and I brought some special guests, and it's 3 randos, and Piper's like, in the flattest, deadest voice possible, oh no, it is 3 innocents I have lost.
This whole scene is very weirdly acted. Like, at one point, Phoebe gets knocked out and drops the vanquishing potion, but it's the least realistic looking feint I've ever seen. And then when the zombies get vanquished, she makes this weird noise. It's like, ah!
So all of the zombies are attacking their respective sisters. Piper has, for some reason, forgotten she has the power to freeze and is resorting to waving a torch at the zombies. And then when Inspector Davidson knocks it out of her hand, she's like, well, I didn't want to do this, but and she just blows up all the zombies.
Well, she knew that she could easily do it. She just wanted to have respect for their corpses, but then she was like, all right, this is just too much.
And she, again, very, very flat affect. God forgive me. Blows up all the zombies incredibly easily.
Now, the alchemist is genuinely upset. He's like, Zenku said you would be too emotionally destroyed to blow up the corpses, and now all my corpses are gone. And
Zenku thought that you wouldn't be able to harm the innocents, but you very easily harmed all the innocents.
And then Zenku's like, I lied. And then he blows up the alchemist.
That seemed unnecessary. But he's like, haha, now you're not confident in yourselves anymore. I win.
I mean, I know I shouldn't shit on his plan because it worked, but I'm like, if I'm the sisters, I'm like, I feel pretty confident right now that we could take out Zenku. Like, this was a terrible plan that we pretty quickly foiled, so...
Yeah, like, they didn't need the potion they made. They didn't need the power of 3. Piper fixed all of their problems by pointing.
Yeah. Alright, at the precinct, Daryl gets to talk to Sheridan, and he's like, stop fucking around with my life and my job. He's like, yeah, guess what? I help out the sisters because they do important work, and it makes sense for me, a cop, to go outside of the system and help them do what they do. And...
Okay, he tells her, he's like, look, because of your whole bullshit dragging me, because you dragged my wife into this situation, now I have to go on vacation with her and my kids. So I'm giving you, I know this sounds like a threat, but it's not, a piece of friendly advice. You know that long list of inspectors you said earlier, who all messed with the Charmed Ones and ended up dead? That is, think about what has happened to every inspector who has messed with the Charmed Ones and how they're all dead, and then maybe reconsider messing with the Charmed Ones. And she's like, is that a threat? He's like, I said it wasn't a threat up front. It is literally advice. Look at what has happened to everyone else who has done what you are doing right now. When people tell you not to go looking for bears to hug, it's not because they're trying to hog all the bear hugs for themselves.
I mean, if I'm Sheridan, I might point out to Daryl that everyone who helps the sisters also dies. But maybe I'm not...
he's died twice.
Maybe I'm not pointing anything out. Maybe I'm just quitting the force and going to deliver mail in, Topeka. But that's just me.
So back at the manor, the sisters discover that Zenku has stolen the book.
Wah, no, the book is gone!
Because they lacked confidence. They lacked confidence, and therefore the book no longer had the power to protect itself.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so we normally do this later, but because this does end with a to be continued.
Yeah, this was the penultimate episode of Charmed. Until they got another season.
Yes. They didn't get another season, by the way.
Another season was forced upon them.
Against their will, because they wanted to be done with it, but they realized that if they were going to merge networks, they needed to have some flagship show, so... Charmed it is. Since this episode does end with to be continued, I'm going to go ahead and jump to it now and say that the next episode we're covering is Something Wicca This Way Goes.
Yeah, nice parallelism
right?
to the first episode, yeah.
And according to the IMDb summary, Zenku has stolen the Book of Shadows, and the Charmed Ones start the final battle to stop him and retrieve the book. Okay, it actually says books, plural, which is not right, but... and retrieve the books, ... and eventually even retrieve their lives.
What? That doesn't... What?
Because they... Spoiler... Because they fake their deaths so that they can live normal lives.
It's not retrieving your life.
They retrieve it from where it was stolen in the first episode.
Oh my... Boo. 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 You know what? I'm happy that they got another season. Does the last season suck? Yeah. But you know what? Billy and Christy were a better big bad than Zenku.
It's so true.
Forever Charmed is also really bad, but at least it feels like an actual finale.
Well, we can talk about that next week, too.
Yeah. So, yeah, much like the Charmed Ones, we have our own power of 3. The first power in our pack is Premonition, who in this episode was, or will become famous. I didn't have anyone. Did you have someone?
Well, you didn't recognize anyone, because the alchemist is played by John Kassir, who is more commonly known as the Crypt Keeper.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute. That's...
Right? Yeah.
Wow, they should have given him something else to do.
Yep. Nope. That's not how the show rolls.
But yeah, no, that's a good get for them.
Yeah.
Sucks it was wasted on this, but you know. The second power in our pack is Time Freeze. What specifically dated this episode?
I mean, I didn't really have anything specifically.
This feels like a weird one, but the fact that Paige didn't tell Joanne to call her on her cell phone.
Huh. I don't know if I would count that, because she actually does have a cell phone at this point. It's not like...
Yeah.
If the apocalypse comes, beat me.
Yeah. I don't know. It just... It feels weird that cell phones are not invoked in any part of that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I guess that isn't really so much an era-specific thing. It's just, it's weird that she doesn't use that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In this point in time.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I didn't have anything specific.
Yeah. And the final power in her pack is telekinesis. What, if anything, genuinely moved you? Nothing?
I was actually genuinely moved by the Paige and Joanna stuff, especially Joanna being killed. The metaphor to abusive relationships with Zanku, I mean, it wasn't really a metaphor, it was an abusive relationship, it was also the plot of a demon. But the whole thing with abusive relationships was very real and real world scary. So, yeah, that was definitely my telekinesis.
Yeah. And that'll about do it for this episode.
Yeah, I think that'll do it. Our show is partially listener supported. If you want to be one of those supporters, you should head over to our website, www.welcometotelevision.net, and click on our Patreon link. We'd like to thank our current $5 and above patrons, Beryl, Patricia, Rosa, Alex, Becca, Carolyn, Cassidy, Daniel, Alicia, Hoops, Jen, Javier, Maricruz, and Randall.
If you'd like to support the show in other ways, you could always rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. It helps other people find the show.
If you want to talk about this show, or any episode of this show, or any episode of any show, you can email us at ilovetelevisionzines@gmail.com, or you can find us on Blue Sky at Welcome to Television.
So until next time, I'm Max.
And I'm Tina.
And this has been Welcome to the Halliwell Manor.